Hello there, Kiana Sage here from Being in Sync for this month's July 2019 video vibe. So this month I'm just going to jump right into it. First of all, welcome everybody to this vibe. And this vibe is all about energy psychology. And you might be wondering, well, I've never heard of that before. What is energy psychology? And really, energy psychology is really about the process of rewriting programs that you have running. So think about this. About 95% of your day, you are running programs. Program after program after programs. Programs of belief, programs of habit, and so forth. So for example, most people don't try to rewrite a program in a day. You might maybe have 5%. This is what science is saying. 5% of your day in which you spend rewriting programs or creating a new program. So a new program of belief. And you might be wondering, well, Kiana, what do you mean by programming and belief? And because it's so huge, because we have so many running all the time, it could be quite overwhelming. So for example, guilt. Guilt is a program that runs for many people. It could be guilt from, going to church and they instilled guilt in you. I know I was raised Catholic, so that's a big thing for Catholics is the guilt. It's also a big thing for mothers on children and wives on husbands. There's all kinds of things that come up with guilt. Could be even guilt for eating a particular kind of food. Guilt is a program that runs. And so imagine this, that we have hundreds of thousands of these programs running all the time. So the 95% is where you're not aware. That's the time of your day where you're just running out of habitual programs that you have. The other 5% is where you have an opportunity to basically create new realities, create new situations for yourself and your life. However, most of us are so unaware that we are spending so much time in the old patterns that we don't even take time to create new ones. And that's the 5%. And so the whole reason why I'm even having this video is because so many people are wondering, Kiana, you've been doing this for a long time. How is it that you get results? Why do people keep coming back to you? And why are you better than anybody else? And here's my take on energy psychology. I've always been somebody who's seen patterns. That's why I started doing team development and strategic planning, is because I see patterns in organizations, I see patterns in teams, I see patterns in groups of people, I see patterns in individuals. And that's because there is an energy that runs through all things. And that's what the psychology is. It's like, can you understand and pick up these patterns? And if you can navigate yourself, your teams, your work, your life in a very different way. So when I look at other people, like for example, I remember sitting across from dinner table and I was told that this guy was a really good coach. So I had an interesting conversation with him. I decided to talk to him more. And it turned out he has really nothing else to offer other than a really nice insight and aha. He does nothing else. He's really charming, but that's his offering. He regurgitates other people's work. And where I make the distinction between the work that I do is really in this energy psychology and understanding that we all have behaviors. We all do. We all have patterns. Every single one of us. But do we all take a time to rewrite them, to create a new way for ourselves? So if you think about this, the conscious mind learns by being creative. So for example, oftentimes I will do a little game with my clients where we go on a little scavenger hunt, if you will, as to all the reasons why this particular thing might happen. For one person going through this scavenger hunt, it might be, hey, you need to come up with these 5 things. And how do I determine the number? The number is determined by the pattern within their field. Okay? So for one person, it might be 5 things. For another person, it might be 20. And you have to go through your mind and be creative and figure out which are the ones that are creating and contributing to this pattern, okay? Now, the subconscious works off of habit. So one of the reasons why I engage my clients in this creative exercise is because it changes the frame in which the mind is working. And it keeps them engaged and keeps them creative, so therefore we can change the pattern and create an activation program instead of a habitual program. Because let's face it, you know, the subconscious just wants to work off of habit, and that's what most of us are operating off of. So my tip for you today is to check in with yourself. What programs are you running that are not getting you where you want to go? Identify those programs and set up an appointment with me, and let's get to work at changing some of these ways in which you are acting habitually, and let's change it to a way where you are actively creating the life that you want to create through energy psychology, which is essentially rewriting your programming. Cheers to being in sync.